Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I'm coming to you from my kitchen, actually, because the lighting in my room was really weird, so we're filming in here. And plus, I have a lot of space to dance and move around, and that's useful for this video, because today I am filming the Hamilton book tag.
Me, fought with him. Me, I died for him. Me, I trusted him. Me, I loved him. And me, I'm the damn fool that shot him. There's a million things I haven't done. Just to what's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton.
So the wonderful Maureen over on Maureen TV created this fantastic book tag around Hamilton the musical, where she took songs from the musical and adapted them to questions that are related to books. And I thought that it was just perfect, and I'm gonna do it today. So for those of you who don't know this about me, I absolutely love theater and musical theater and acting and all things related to the dramatic arts, because I did a lot of theater in high school. And once Hamilton came out, I wasn't one of the first people to listen to it, I will fully admit that, but I more recently listened to it for the first time, and it kind of consumed my life. Like, this is the first musical that has consumed me in this way since the first time I listened to Phantom of the Opera, which is saying a lot because that's probably my all-time favorite musical. But Hamilton has destroyed me, and I have been reborn like a phoenix from the ashes because it's so perfect and wonderful. So again, I'm gonna keep pushing it throughout this entire video. If you haven't listened to it yet, please go change that. So I have 10 Hamilton related questions to get through, so let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1, the room where it happens. A book world that you would love to put yourself in. So for this question, I'm going with a no-brainer, one that pretty much every person who I've seen who has done this tag has chosen as their answer, and with very good reason. And if you couldn't guess, that is the Wizarding World in the Harry Potter universe. I'm pretty sure that anyone who has read these books or watched these movies and loves them, read them as a kid, or even as an adult, wants to be a witch or wizard who goes to Hogwarts. No other world for me.
I've been reading common sense by Thomas Paine. Some men say that I'm intense or I'm insane. You want a revolution, I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. Behold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. And when I become a Jefferson, I'ma compel him to include women in the sequel. Work!
Question number 2, the SCHUYLER sisters, an underrated female character. So for this question, I could go with a number of underrated female characters, but I wanted to go with something a little bit different. So I chose The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. Kind of like all of the female characters in this book, I feel like are underrated. There are a lot of wonderful female characters in this book who are very real, who are very flawed, who are very human, and they're just fantastic. So highly, highly recommend. And let's get these female characters into the spotlight because they deserve it. Question number 3, my shot, a character who goes after what they want and doesn't let anything get in their way. I decided to go with one of my favorite fictional characters, one of my favorite fictional female characters just of all time, and that is Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth is one of the most headstrong and stubborn and prideful characters that I have ever had the pleasure of reading about in literature. She's just so realistic in so many ways, but she's also very much the type of character who doesn't let anyone or anything get in her way. If she wants something, she will go after it, and she will not take crap from anyone, and I love that about her. Stay alive, a character that you wish was still alive. So for this question, I chose 2 characters, both from the Harry Potter series. If you don't want to be spoiled for who these 2 characters are, you can just click to when you see my hand is no longer up, and you'll know that it will be, again, a spoiler-free section. So spoilers are going to start now. Fred and Dobby, because those 2 deaths were completely unnecessary and they ruin my life every time I think about them. It breaks my heart, and I just can't deal with it. I just want them back, and I need them back so desperately, and I wish they had stayed alive.
Future historians wonder how Eliza reacted when you broke her heart. You have torn it all apart.
my favorite songs in the entire musical, and it makes me cry every single time I listen to it or sing to it, because Eliza Hamilton deserved better. She was the hero of this story, and she didn't deserve everything that happened to her, and I get so emotional. So for this question, I chose a relationship from the Infernal Devices series, and again, just like the last question, if you don't want to be spoiled for anything, I will also leave my hand up, and once my hand goes down, you'll know that the spoilers are over and you can keep on watching. The ending of Will and Tessa's relationship, basically the epilogue of Clockwork Princess, destroys my life entirely. I know that it still technically ends happy, but just the fact that Will dies and is mortal and Tessa is immortal ruins me, and it just, I hate thinking about it, and it makes me so sad. And even though I'm really happy with the way their story ended, and even though I'm happy that she's with Jem because I think that she loves both of them and I love both of them with her, her relationship with Will and just Will in general is just one of my favorite things about this book, and it breaks my heart reading that epilogue, and it kills me every single time I even think about it. So the end of their relationship was like the worst thing in the world. Just the worst.
You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You need a wanna complaining when I am gone. No, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject.
Question number 6, you'll be back. The sassiest villain. So for this, I didn't actually choose a character from a book. I decided to go with a TV show character, and that is Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender. So for those of you who don't know this about me, I am absolutely obsessed with Avatar: The Last Airbender. It is probably my all-time favorite TV show. I just recently rewatched book 2 and 3, and I'm currently rewatching Korra. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend going and watching it and changing that right now because it's so good. And Azula is one of the main villains of that show, and she is so sassy and so funny and so badass, and I just appreciate her so much as a villain. Her sassiness and her personality just make her such a complex character and such a great, great villain.
I'm not here for you. I know my sister like I know my own mind. You will never find anyone as trusting or as kind. I love my sister more than anything in this life. I will choose her happiness over mine every time. Put what we had aside. I'm standing at her side. You can never be satisfied. I hope you're satisfied.
The Reynolds pamphlet, a book with a twist that you didn't see coming. So for this, I'm not exactly going with a book that has a twist. I'm kind of changing it up a little bit. I'm going with a book that kind of like had me on the edge of my seat and didn't exactly go in the direction that I was expecting it to go in. And for this, I chose Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. It follows around this theater troupe in this post-apocalyptic world where there was this disease or this flu that kind of wiped pretty much the entirety of the world's population out, but there are still some people who are alive. It's not that this book really has plot twists or anything in it. It just is so different from so many other books that I've read, and in ways that I can't exactly explain. It's kind of like you have to read it and experience it to understand it, and I wouldn't really want to tell you what those things are because I'd want you to read it like I did and kind of experience them for yourself. So this book definitely had me on the edge of my seat, and it definitely went in directions that I could have never guessed.
How do you write like tomorrow won't arrive? How do you write like you need it to survive? How do you write every second you're alive? Every second you're alive, every second you're alive.
Nonstop, a series that you marathoned. So I'm just gonna go with the most recent series that I marathoned, and it is a comic book series, which is the Saga comics by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. I've talked about these numerous times on my channel. I'm obsessed with them. These are so fantastic, and I highly, highly recommend them if you want to get into comics or graphic novels, because they're so good and the storytelling is so fantastic and the art is absolutely beautiful, and it's just great. It has everything. I feel like it has something for everyone.
Handsome boy, does he know it's beach buzz, but he can't even grow it. I wanna take him far away from this place, then I turn and see my sister's face, and she is so clear. I know she is clear. And her eyes are just clear. And I realize 3 fundamental truths at the exact same time.
The struggle when you want to do a cover of Satisfied, but you can't rap to save your life, so you're just stuck in limbo, rapping to myself in my room alone every single day, and failing miserably. So Satisfied, a book with multiple points of view. So for this question, it was only fitting that I pick my favorite book for my favorite song. So I decided to go with The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The Night Circus has multiple points of view throughout the entire story, and I think that it's one of the best parts of the book. You don't only get one story, you get a bunch of different intertwined stories, and each of them is extremely interesting and intriguing, but they all come together in such a cohesive way that is just perfectly mastered. Erin Morgenstern is just so good at crafting all of their stories together, and it's absolutely beautiful and stunning, and once again, I cannot stop raving about this book.
Let me tell your story. Who tells your story?
And finally, the last question, who lives, who dies, who tells your story? A book/series that you feel will be remembered throughout history. This question, again, I know I'm repeating a book, but it's a no-brainer. I can't go with anything else. But that, of course, has to be Harry Potter. This book will transcend time. I know that, and it deserves it. It deserves that title because it is a fantastic, fantastic world and fantastic series. So that is it, guys, for the Hamilton book tag. I had so much fun filming this video because I got to sing along to all the songs and dance to them, and that's honestly all I do all day long. Like, I don't think you guys realize I wake up in the morning and play Hamilton as I get ready, then I go to school and play Hamilton before class, then I play Hamilton in between my classes, and then I come home and play Hamilton while I'm doing my homework. Like, it's the only thing that I do anymore and the only thing that I listen to anymore, so it has like utterly consumed my life. I tag all of you guys if you have listened to Hamilton, if you love Hamilton, and if you make videos, or even if you don't make videos, to do this tag and let me know what your answers to these questions are. Also, let me know in the comments down below if you love Hamilton, which song is your favorite song, if you had to pick one. I know it's really hard. I sometimes can't even pick one, but for the most part, it's Satisfied. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
They said this kid is insane, man. Took up a collection just to send him to the mainland. Get your education, don't forget from whence you came. And the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton. And there's a million things I haven't done. But just you wait, just